Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright and sunny day. It is Friday the 28th of February and I'm in the reading Nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is a copy of Casualties of War Suicide Squad, published by DC Comics. So they make their living dying. From prolific comics creator Keith Giffen comes Suicide Squad Casualties of War, his complete and never before collected series starring the DC Universe's deadliest team. Former members of the Injustice Gang are given a chance at freedom, but must first embark on a deadly mission. In the aftermath of our worlds at war, Sergeant Rock, now a general, is back in action to lead the squad to victory or to death. The question remains, how can the new squad's leader come up with a plan to take on a biological weapon that's gone out of control? This is the beginning of the political intrigue and corporate deception from LexCorp all the way to the presidency. And in Casualties of War, everyone loves an island party. Unfortunately, the squad just got caught crashing. Now these crafty convicts must pool their dwindling resources and figure out how to defeat an attacking populace that can't be killed. Plus, uncover who's really behind the new Suicide Squad. Can Rock's hastily formed teams of Deadshot, Killer Frost, Major Disaster, Reactron, and Black Star stop trying to kill each other long enough to prevent the end of our entire planet as we know it? So this collects Suicide Squad issues 1 to 12 from 2001, Justice League International 52, and so on. So I've sort of been a big fan of Suicide Squad long before you saw both films. The most recent film is actually, of course, the most fun to watch, but the first one has its moments. Nevertheless, Suicide Squad is effectively DC Universe's equivalent of the Dirty Dozen. You know, they are the malcontents, the supervillains who the state believes are not necessarily redeemable, but can be used as undeniable as deniable assets to do its own dirty work, and so perhaps prove themselves capable of serving society. It really kind of started in the mid-80s, following sort of like the Watchmen and Fall of the Dark Knight, and there's a really good run there that I started reading. It's really one of my favourite comics of the period, along with things like Captain Atom and the run of the Shadow during that period. But this is from a later period. One I wasn't aware of, so I was glad to get this and have it to read. And it's got some classic, sort of a couple of classic members of, at least one classic member of Suicide Squad, which is Deadshot. And interesting to see a character like Sergeant Rock involved in this. Always a kind of a hero that always kind of got relegated sort of like to DC history. So here he kind of steps out of that history, has a bigger role. We get to find out a bit more about him, because he's sort of like seen as sort of like a war hero from World War II, and then sort of later wars as well. So this is all artwork from sort of like, so this is artwork sort of like the early 2000s. So it is in full colour, and it's still looks pretty good even now, but obviously very sort of like, you know, cartoonish, but in a good way. So the thing is sort of this, looking at this allows you, gives you inspiration perhaps to tell stories where the villains get to be the good guys, allegedly, or at least prove themselves semi-capable of being on the side of society, if not necessarily justice. And often, because one of the things about this illustration being led by Sergeant Rock, or General Rock, I should say, it's actually not led by Amanda Waller, who created the team originally and basically commanded it through various missions. You know, with essentially her credo being, you know, the end justifies the means. And, you know, essentially, so that's pushing sort of like the characters up against sort of like almost like on occasions a moral boundary, pushing them into a quandary, and so on. And having them go up against someone like Lex Luthor brings sort of like the characters into the mainstream, because he is sort of basically one of the preeminent villains of the DC universe. I mean, Batman has Joker, and any number of iconic villains, Scarecrow, the Penguin, etc. Superman really has one that everyone thinks of, and that is Lex Luthor. So we even get to sort of go back into a lost world there and encounter dinosaurs, so it gets, you know, a little bit weird, but then this is a superhero comic, so what do you expect? And here we've actually got the encounter with the Justice League. So you've actually got extra members as members of the squad. So that includes Hawkman and Star Spangled Kid and Power Girl, who are all more basically traditional kind of heroes. And this brings the collection to a close. So there we go. That is Suicide Squad, Casualties of War, published by DC Comics. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, or in this case, a collected graphic novel, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.